Well, welcome to the Jeep Life podcast. We've created this podcast to share our enthusiasm for the Jeep life in the Northeast and all over with our fellow Jeepers. We call those lifers. Now, I know, Don, you didn't have your headphones on.
No.
So you have no idea what that 20 seconds of silence was.
I could hear it a little bit through your headphones. Yeah, you were jamming a little bit.
Excellent. Well, I'm glad to have you here. We missed you last week.
Yeah, I missed being on the show.
I mean, you were super busy.
Yeah.
But, man, I want to thank Scott for coming in and at the last minute being a phone-in friend.
Yeah, he's killer, too. I mean, the guy is, he's just...
He's already forgotten more than I'll ever know.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
It was good to have him in. It was good to have people actually watching us on Facebook Live, which we're doing again. I think this is kind of a new standard. I don't know that we'll change that right now.
No,
It just turns out great.
It does, absolutely.
And, as little as I have to do, the better.
Yeah. Well, it's efficient, you know?
Yeah, anytime it takes me out of the mix,
Absolutely.
It's much better.
Yep.
We don't have to edit really anything. We can just use this, and then I can do a quick edit on my computer and then throw it on YouTube, and
perfect.
Then everybody has it. Yeah. So, are you surviving getting locked in, or?
I settled in. I'm actually, a lot of negativity about it, but I'm going to be positive and put the positive spin on. This is prior to this. I mean, my job at the school is a job and a half. There's a lot to manage. There's a lot to take care of. There's a lot of aspects of it. So I'm busy. And then with 4 kids, it's wrestling practice and scouts. And
right.
I, was asking for, I would sort of do the prayer for some time off. Now, granted, I don't want.
So this is your fault.
Yeah, no, I certainly don't like to see people sick and ill. But the time at home has been a little bit of a blessing. Took me a couple days to settle in, but
yeah, sure.
It's good family time. Spending some time with the boys, and we don't have a whole lot of distractions. And
I agree.
Just trying to put a positive spin on it. Getting some projects done around the house. Got some wrench time in on the Jeep.
Oh
yeah. I can't complain.
No, as we sitting here in Studio B, if you will, where we are right now, this morning, there was no way any of this could happen. So I basically have remodeled half a.
Hey, Terry, where do you think the better parties will happen at? Studio A or Studio B?
I'm waiting for both.
Okay,
that's my cheer.
Yeah.
When we get ran out of one of them,
we have
other. We have another to retreat
to. Yeah.
I like it. I like being able at Studio A, being able to turn around and turn a wrench on a vehicle.
Yep.
Here, there's not that much chance of that happening.
A little more comfortable here, though. A little bit.
It's not
climate
as cold.
controlled. Yeah.
And the echo isn't as bad.
Yeah.
Here,
right.
So
that was a challenge. Always is when we're in some sort of shop setting.
Yeah, and it's I'm happy that we're here.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm happy you're
nice
here.
How about it? What a nice to get out.
Yeah,
Plus
thanks for coming out. And you brought along a little brouhaha, if you do.
Yeah, I did, but that was payment for the stickers.
Yeah, I did break curfew and head on over to your place and drop off a few stickers.
Needed though, definitely needed. We needed some visitation.
I like it, and we're going to get to those stickers in a little bit later in the show. But right now we're drinking New Belgium Voodoo Ranger IPA.
Yeah,
I love this IPA.
I'm an IPA guy right now. I've been drinking a lot of IPAs. Usually in wintertime, I'm drinking dark beer.
Right.
But it's been IPA all winter long.
I like it, and it's funny because I'll do a session IPA a lot of the time, and love that. But then I forget that Voodoo's on the shelf.
Right.
This
was right next to session.
right next to it. My favorite beer used to be Fat Tire. From New Belgium.
I don't know if I've seen it at least at our local grocery store.
It was for the long time you couldn't get it in PA.
Right.
And it was only until this last year or so that we've been able to get New Belgium in because they're from Colorado.
Right.
And I was telling you that my brother and I about 11 years ago took a trip out to Denver to see Big Head Todd and the Monsters, and we did a stopover at New Belgium and did the whole tour, slid down the slide.
That's cool.
A friend of mine is one of the brewmeisters there, so we got a nice, beautiful tour.
Yeah.
So that was kind of good to kind of revisit that, and this
Yeah.
kind of brings back a lot of good memories from that.
Well, you almost got some Saucony Creek, but they just didn't have the selection they usually do.
Well, that's a local beer to you.
That's a local
Very
beer to
local
me.
to
Yeah.
you.
In fact, we went to school with Matt. I think he's a former owner now. I don't believe we're part. I'm not sure.
I don't know.
He was the founder.
Yeah, on a separate podcast, we did a live interview with him
Right.
at Saucony Creek with
Right.
him. A friend of mine is friends with him, and so
Yeah.
kind of introduced us, and we got to spend some good quality time. Real
Sure.
cool dude.
Oh, absolutely. Always has been. Always very laid back, very chill.
And somewhat a famous character.
Yeah, he was a professional inline skater.
Yeah, and
He
did
lived down the
BMX
street
and
from us,
right.
and his dad was real cool. Built him a half pipe. They had a ranch house, and the half pipe stuck up above
Past
the ranch house. Yeah, you just
Yeah.
park out front and watch Matt fly.
Yeah, he was one of the early X Games stars.
Yes,
And you wouldn't know it to talk to him. He's just the coolest dude
yeah,
on the planet.
absolutely, very
Um,
approachable.
And so, Matt, if you hear me, I know you've got a couple breweries that you've
Colorado,
gone on
I
to
think,
Colorado,
recently?
and I think there's one in downtown Philly that he's
Is there?
affiliated with
Okay.
too as well. So
Yeah.
send me a 6 and I'll drink it on the show for
Absolutely.
you. All right, we'll be in touch. our people will contact you.
Yeah, right. That'll be me, Matt.
I think we are our
Yeah,
people.
yeah, that's right.
Right. So it's good to have you here. Thanks for bringing over the beer.
Of course, absolutely.
Cheers. I love to drink a good beer.
Yeah, me too.
And
Good whiskey though, but I'm out. Like that was.
I
didn't
didn't know. I
I
don't
budget.
have one, but
Yeah, I didn't budget very well. I didn't plan very well. I was out like last week already.
well, since we haven't been able to, I've done a couple little drives with the family, just thrown the family in because we've had a couple nice days.
Right.
But it hasn't been wheeling as usual. It
No.
hasn't been, on the
Hardcore,
weekends
yeah.
get out and,
Yep,
and
yep.
do our thing. So I thought it would be fun since we've been locked in to have a segment that really is what would be your Jeep. Now, you've got your Jeep. It's parked out in front of my house
Absolutely.
right now.
Yep.
Cool Jeep, real
Yep.
cool Jeep. Looks great. I've got mine. I love mine. It is what it is.
It's a great Jeep.
If we didn't have those Jeeps, and right now we could go get that Jeep, that we always dreamed about, or maybe because I think I would go and buy the exact one that I have and do everything to it that
Right.
that I've done.
Right.
But is there something you go, oh man, I wish I kind of done that, or as soon as I'm done with this one
it's
or
like
pass it
day
on.
to day.
Yeah.
So probably the biggest problem in my marriage is Amy will say to me, "What's going on in your head? What are you thinking about?"
Yeah.
And
That's
I'm
a
often
dangerous question.
Yeah, well, it's really not. I'm pretty simple. It's Jeeps, Amy. I'm thinking about Jeeps. So it's day to day. It changes, and right now, I'm really enjoying the idea of this JK. It's the last of the Mohegans. It's low mileage yet, and I'm kind of just looking forward to building that. But you're right, I do dream about other stuff. I'm thinking, if it were to happen next year, I would love to jump in a new JL Rubicon. Love it.
A JL or a JT?
JL.
A JL.
Now.
Because I know we once talked about a JT.
So, okay, my as we planned for this episode, if you wanted to know what I was truly planning for the next Jeep, looking down the road, since this is a 2018 JK I have, I'll probably run this for another, my oldest child is 14, my oldest daughter is 14, and I've got to have the third row till she's out of the house. So you figure I'll have it another 6 years. I'll jump in after that. I actually probably run this JK about another 10 years. And then towards the tail end of retirement, my dream has always been for, my kids to be somewhat self-sufficient, that we can, even if they're not out of the house, we can leave them at home, and Amy and I can travel. So, what I want to do is I always wanted to explore the West Coast. I've been there plenty, but I've never really had a chance or an opportunity to roam the desert or hit the Rubicon or, the Dirty Ocean. What I want to do is build a JT Gladiator. And, I got, oh my God, it goes on and on. Should I get into this?
Let's dip our toe in that a little bit,
okay,
shall we?
well, listen, I thought about this a little bit.
No, since it's raining outside, let's splash a little bit. Let's get that in.
Well, first of all, what I would order would be a 2020 Rubicon. I think I'm 90% sure I would finally make the switch from a manual to an automatic. Just because if I'm going to use this thing for hauling out west, I don't really want to be shifting a lot. I kind of sit back and sip my coffee.
Dude, last time
grown-up transmission.
I drove yours for a week.
Yeah, I know.
It was a lot of work.
It is. Rolling gears is not for everybody all the time.
I used to do that, and I was like, always, I need to do that. And then I got this, and I'm like, I don't ever need to do that again.
No, it's the adult transmission. So I'm gonna probably go with the automatic.
There you go.
And then, then there's the engine option. So they just came out with the diesel, and I'll tell you what, it is tearing things up. I just saw TFL Cars on YouTube. I follow those guys. They do some great reviews. It outran now it was a JL, not a JT, so it was a little bit lighter, but it was the new turbo diesel, outran a Hemi, 5.7 liter Hemi with a cold air intake on it and a catback exhaust.
Wow.
It's quick. But that being said, I'm not really a diesel guy, and diesels are great. It's just not my forte. I think I would do a 3.6 liter, and we'll talk about what I'd do to get some power out of it. Then, 3.6 liter is a great engine to begin with, but throw a supercharger on them, they move.
Yeah.
I would get Stingray Gray.
That's a nice color.
I like that color.
Yeah, Stingray.
I really do.
Yeah.
3-piece hard top, black fender flares, so I don't, it doesn't bother me when it gets scratched up with some cactus or whatever from being out west. I would get the steel bumper package, the tow package, auxiliary switches. The LED lights are phenomenal in the new Jeep, so I would definitely do that.
So you don't have to go after market.
No, and that's what I want to do a lot of it right up front.
Yeah, sure.
Leather heated seats, Uconnect with the 7-inch. I really don't have a need for the 8-inch, but I like my music, so Alpine premium sound.
Sure.
And then aftermarket wise, 2-inch lift. And I would do a Mopar 2-inch lift because I'd want to do it right off the bat. And the beauty about the Mopar lift, two positives is one, since I'm doing it right off the bat, it doesn't void a warranty with the Mopar lift. Two, I firmly believe that nobody knows these vehicles better than the guys that build them. They know what they're selling. They know they know what the spring rates need to be. They know what the steering or the suspension geometry should be. And so
there's a lot of engineering goes into it.
Oh, a ton. A lot more than people think.
And
so, I think I would do that Mopar 17 or 2-inch lift. And then some Mopar 17 beadlock capable wheels, or it's another Mopar wheel.
Right.
And I do think I'd want something with a faux beadlock just to, all these years I'm tired of rock rash on my wheels. I'd like a ring I could change out. Warn Xeon 12S winch. It's a premium winch. It's not a professional winch, but it's not the bottom of the barrel for Warn. And 12,000 pounds would give me plenty, even with I want to put an Alu truck cab on it. So Alu cab makes it's called Alu Kaya 4-sleeper, and it's like a truck camper, but it's made out of aluminum, ultra light, doesn't change the center of gravity a whole lot. It's got an outdoor kitchen, an indoor kitchen. The only thing it lacks is a bathroom, and there's enough of those across the United States as we're traveling. We'll figure it out.
And, we're dudes. We
that's right.
The world is our bathroom.
Yeah, that's right. Absolutely. With the spare tire bracket on it, probably Scorpion bed liner. That's actually the bed liner that we spray at the school. Then I'd stick with the Nitto Ridge Grappler 10 ply, so I have the right load rating.
Yeah.
And then I would
those are ATs, right?
That's their Extreme AT.
Yeah, they're top of the line AT.
Yep. And that's I would stick with them. I like them, and I'm not
they're great looking tires.
They are, and I'm not gonna, again, probably not gonna tear this thing up on the rocks, or hit, something like Forsyth or something like that. But I would change out the rock sliders to the Go Rhino rock sliders. They got, because step for Amy to get in, a little bit easier for her to get in.
Yeah, thoughtful.
Power tank package B.
Oh yeah,
you guys converted me on it.
Yeah.
So I could actually mount it on the back of the Caillou camper. They actually have mounts for propane and for power tank setup. I checked today. So,
perfect.
CB United Bearcat with windshield mount, Ram Vector mounts, American Trail Products rear bumper, Borla exhaust, Gravity High Lights Pro 6 system, which is a whole windshield system that KC has. Really cool. It's got upper lights, LED lights. It's got A-pillar lights.
Oh wow!
All one bracket. Really cool. Expensive, $1,800.
Sure.
But a neat setup.
Nice.
And the Edelbrock supercharger. I did some research. I really, if I can scrounge up an extra $5,000 before I get rid of this Jeep, I'm gonna put one on it. And I've been doing research on the RIP superchargers, Magnuson. We supercharged my dad's Cadillac, put a Magnuson supercharger on it, and it was great. But Edelbrock has a pretty compact package, and you can get to the oil filter pretty easily without a lot. A lot of the other ones, it's tough to get to the oil filter and change it. So, but other than that, that's it. Now, it's a tall order. We're probably talking $85,000. So I don't know. We'll see.
You got your money bags over there.
I'm money bags, I know.
Yeah, we're making millions off of this podcast. So.
I'm thinking that. I'll probably buy two of them, Terry.
You gotta. Which day you gonna drive it on?
That's exactly different colors. Match the outfit I have on.
That is a sweet rig, and when you think about what you can do with it and how much you can, you and I've talked and we've talked on the podcast how much overlanding. And that's a perfect overlanding vehicle.
That's a perfect
what
it was built
go see America.
Yeah. That was what it was. That was what it was designed for. That's a direct market. I'm sure that they went after.
Yeah, and I can't compete with that. Mine just isn't even in the same ballpark.
I'm sure it's pretty cool though.
Well, it's so I'm really into the Chief look, the older Chief. I loved it, that baby blue with the cream striping, and the cream top. Mm-hmm. And it, and that was pre JK, and then
absolutely
they did a JK series with the Chief markings and the cream top, and I fell in love with that. I love that, and I kind of wish that if I could go back, I would have gotten that. And and the cool thing about that is I think even stock, that's the sharpest looking Jeep that I've seen.
I think they look really badass with a set of polished aluminum wheels on them.
I was getting ready to say, then you lift it and throw some chrome wheels on them, or
there's a company out there that makes a package to change the front fender's hood and front clip so that it looks like a Cherokee Chief.
Oh yeah.
It's they had one out at SEMA. It was uncanny the amount of resemblance it really looked like.
And it changes the lines completely.
Totally. And they even have seats they even change the seats so you can get a package to do the seats in the interior. Low bucket seats.
Nice.
with the rolled leather, and it was pretty cool.
Yeah, I found one online that Cherokee Chief, and it was lifted. It had looked like 33s on it.
Right.
It could have been 35s. You probably, I don't know if you put 35s. I don't know if the wheel wells, you might have to adapt them out. I don't know if
if you lifted it, you'd
has
be
enough
fine.
lift on it. But it just looked so good.
I know.
And I'm like, what if I got the Chief vinyl and did the pinstripes myself?
Yeah.
And I think that might look good, my red Jeep.
Yeah.
Maybe do it in black.
Yeah.
With that. I don't know. So I've been toying around with that, but
have you looked? Does anybody have the vinyl online?
I haven't looked. I would like to look. I don't even know where to start with that. Yeah. I'm the worst at. I work in technology, but but trying to get technology to work for me, and it just doesn't work. I have the worst time searching and looking for that stuff. So if anybody finds any, hit me up.
Well, that's because the internet was made for Billy, not for us.
No doubt.
Yeah,
no doubt. But I think I really like that Scout look, and I look at it and I go, man, I guarantee you, if one of those Scouts had been on the lot when I bought mine,
would have bought it.
I would have bought it.
Yeah,
I wouldn't even.
They've caught my eye. I remember when they came out and thinking, that'd be cool to have. It's just different. It looked different at the time. Everything roaming the planet was a black JK.
Right,
and thinking, it's just cool. It's just different. There were no white tops.
No. It just looks so good.
Yep. So, unless you got a painted white top. It didn't have that.
Were those built on the Sahara package or?
Yeah, geez, I don't know. I think it was. I think most of their limited edition Jeeps were built on the Sahara. I believe, because I think my 70th was built in the Sahara.
Yeah,
I think.
Yeah, mine couldn't be more sport.
Yeah,
sport.
That's the same with mine.
Sport minus.
Mine was sport minus the S, so I don't get power windows.
Right. Yeah, we both got the roll up windows on that. Yeah.
But hey, so it's a little easier to take my doors off. They're just so a tad bit lighter.
And one less pin in the hook, so I don't have to click that out.
Yeah, one less thing to fail.
Exactly.
Like I said, I'm not upset about it because I'm looking forward to the day when I throw some half doors on there and some soft side windows.
Oh yeah. I love the half door look.
I know.
I love that half door look. I think there's a couple people in our Jeep club that have that half door look, and I absolutely love it.
I know. I think that's going to be my. Like I said, I don't have to daily drive it, so
if I lived in Phoenix.
The only downside is when we travel with it. It'd be a little tough. Maybe I'll keep the whole, the full doors.
Yeah, you got to keep
throw them back on.
Exactly. Yeah, I've seen some of those hitch mount door racks that you can throw your doors on the back on the hitch mount.
Really? Yeah, but they gotta get beat up back there.
I
don't know about your Jeep, but everything on the road, I think my Jeep just picks up and throws out the back. It's like a little kid with puddles.
Yeah, so it was interesting because I drove from California back, and I had a hitch mount luggage rack back there, and I had it in a bag, everything in a bag. And I can't believe how dry it stayed.
Really?
And I went through some heavy rain, and I was like, really? I even brought a puzzle in a cardboard box from California, and it's still
fit together.
It's still fit together. As a matter of fact, it's up on the dining room table right now because
that's
that's the thing to do right now that we're stuck inside. So mine was that Chief, whether it be the JK Chief or a Cherokee Chief from years gone by, if you will, and you had that sweet tricked out.
Yeah. That's my dream. When I can't sleep at night, that's what I sit there and that's what I lay in bed. I stare at the ceiling and I think about that, and that's when I get the question, Don, what are you thinking about? Well, Amy,
it's not somebody
deep.
else.
No, it's pretty deep. It would be a Jeep JK or a Jeep JT. And it's not all about the Jeep. It's all about being prepared for this adventure. It's like my last hurrah with my wife, before we get too old to go out and, I want to put a good 10, 15 years of some good hardcore just exploring. And
just getting out.
Yeah, I'd like to go see Alaska, and I want to fly up. I think when you run a car, you miss a lot, You know this. We drove across the country a couple times.
You get to see so much, and sometimes even a couple times, as I went to grad school in Albuquerque, so I drove a lot between Nashville and Albuquerque, so I know that stretch from I-40 like the back of my hand.
Right.
And a lot of times there, I drove out a lot with other people, and we were put the head down, drive until we get there, 24 hours of straight driving, and you miss a lot.
You do.
And, you see sometimes there's a roadside station. You go, oh, I'd like to I just missed that. I'm never, maybe someday I'll stop and see it.
Well, and
this can be your.
that's it. And it's our
Right.
whole life. Amy and I have been career-oriented people. So when we take a vacation, there's, a week, there's 7 days.
Yeah.
And it's drive the family down to Disney and driving back. Or if we're going up to Vermont, we've got every destination mapped out to
Yeah.
make the most out of our time.
Sure.
And we don't get that time to wander. And that's what I can't wait until the both of us just stop. And, we're working hard so that we can retire a little bit younger. And, hopefully the kids will be self-sufficient enough that we can let them at home living in the basement. And they don't kill the house.
Right,
So,
Come up with that little cat feeder that just drops some food.
yeah, right. And we can just take off and go for a month and just, I'd love to just roam. I don't want to worry about destinations. I want to say, wow, hey, check this out that I found on the web. It's only an hour and a half out of our way. Let's go do that. And then from there, find something else.
Yep.
And, so that's what my build is all about. That's really what it stems about. Everything is about making sure that happens. What are we going to need while we're on the road,
And I don't know that, and I think that is the Jeep life, or part of the Jeep life, right?
Oh,
I mean,
absolutely.
You look at all the commercials and the advertising, and it's all about that freedom to just make choices and just, see that road?
I'm going
I don't know where it goes,
but I'm going to do it.
I'm going to go there.
Yeah, and that's
right?
absolutely. Yep.
And I love that you chose that, and that really is the Jeep life. And I know that I've talked to a few people that recently that have just gotten a brand new Jeep. It's their first one ever.
Yeah.
And the jaw just drops.
I know.
And they're like, I've never experienced anything
so
like this.
It is, and I'll tell you what. Plus, it's so confidence. It's so confidence building.
Yeah.
You tend to, when I drive, like when I'm in my Honda and it's raining and I'm going to work, I'm like, oh man, like, what if I hit a puddle with this? It's too deep. In the Jeep, you're
Right.
like, where can I find a puddle that's really deep?
Yeah.
Or I'm going to go do some wheeling or something.
Yeah, exactly.
There's no spot that's that's too intimidating to take the Jeep. So
No, and there's a day, every single day I get some sort of text from somebody showing their Jeep going through some puddle.
I know.
Or and I'm not just scrolling through Facebook.
Right.
This is people sending it to me, and
know.
of course I do the same thing when I'm out there.
I've been watching a lot of people in the club. There's some pretty neat spots that
beautiful spots around here,
absolutely,
and they won't tell me where they are.
Did you notice that?
Yeah.
Come on, guys, what's up?
I want to go too.
Yeah.
I won't make a big mess.
Yeah.
But
yeah, that's what that next one is about. The black one was supposed to be for that reason, and that was one of the reasons we sold it. We just couldn't make the time, and it ended up being a off-road park Jeep, and so this one I figured, well, if I'm gonna just have a daily runner, then I'm gonna make it a little more on the rock side, a little more radical, not crazy because that's not who I am, but
Right.
a little higher, a little more suspension travel. I'm not as worried about how comfortable it is on the road.
Right.
But yeah, I'm one of these days. I mean, that's what we're working towards. That's sort of the life goal.
Yeah, I love it. That's great, man. Thanks for sharing that.
Yeah, of course.
Wow, that turned out to be a better segment than I expected it to be. That was
fun.
Yeah, this is kind of a throw together. What are we going to do while it's raining?
Right.
We haven't talked in a while. All right, but that was good. I liked it.
Yeah,
Yeah, thanks for sharing that. Well, one of the things that we like to do as a show is people have gotten really interested, and we wanted to do a Jeep of the Week.
Yes, and we got a good one.
Got a real good one.
Yeah.
And this is from Shannon Bradford in Ball, Louisiana. And it's a sweet vehicle.
Right.
It's a 2019 Sahara, and the name of the Jeep is Karma's a Bitch.
Yeah.
And I love that name.
I know.
It was so cool. No, it was. I'm slightly colorblind. Is it blue? Or
I
is
think
it
it was
purple?
a blue. No, I think it was blue.
It's blue.
Yeah,
It's
but
a
I don't know if that was
killer
a
color.
factory. I don't know if that was wrapped because it looked like it had some metallic in it.
I don't know. It's just beautiful. I love the color. It just jumped out at me.
Yeah, I'm pulling it up now.
It was awesome. So while you're pulling it up, I'm going to talk about some of the highlights of it. 2.5-inch Mopar lift, 36 inch Mickey Thompsons on 20-inch Moto metal wheels. For me, 20 is a little bit large for a wheel size, but I really like the way 20s looked. especially rolling down the road, they look
They
really
look
good.
They look good. They're not the greatest for wheeling.
I was going to say,
going
off road, you don't get a lot of space to air down. Yeah. Smitty built front and back bumpers and winch. The XRC front and back bumpers. Those are nice bumpers. And what is a diabolical slipstream?
I don't know.
I have no idea what it is, but it's listed. And that was one thing that kind of jumped out at me. But American Adventure Lab Highline fenders and inner fenders. It just looks like a great looking vehicle. It's new, very sharp, and I definitely can't wait to post that on our Instagram as our Jeep of the Week.
Yeah, I should have marked it, but I didn't, and now I can't find it.
Yeah, I think I emailed it to you.
You did. I'm digging deep in my email. I got so many emails the past couple of days.
But it's.
Oh, there it is.
I know you can't see it right now.
That's blue, but I think that was a factory color.
Yeah, but it looks sharp.
It does.
It really does.
And that's a J. I dig the JL lines. Like that was one thing that was kind of lacking on the JK was it had no body line, really.
Yeah.
No definitive body line across the back, or across the side, and they added that in the JL, and it makes such a huge difference.
It does. It does. It's sharp.
They are. It is a good looking Jeep.
If I could take all the handles off of the JKs and put them on the JLs, I'd be happy. I don't like the JL
you don't
handle.
Like the push button. You like the.
I need to. I like the push button.
You do.
Yeah, I don't like the pull through.
Right.
I don't know.
Right.
Call me a wimp. I don't know. But I do. I love the JL look.
Yeah.
It's fantastic.
Yeah, it is. I saw it when you sent that to me. It's an eye catcher. And it's got a lot of good parts on it. I looked at the list and first thing that caught my and it's not cheap is that Mopar 2-inch lift.
Yeah.
That's an expensive lift. And again, they put a lot of research into them. I don't know. I think they're making their own lifts now. I'm not entirely sure they're subletting them like they used to.
I think they're still using probably Fox shocks.
Well, they are using Fox shocks, but I think they're doing their own
everything
springs
else.
They were using like in the very, very beginning, they were using Pro Comp. Then it went to Terraflex, and which is ironic, because AEV was one of the owner of AEV was one of their former chief engineers.
Oh, really? Okay, yeah.
Yeah, I'm surprised they didn't
go with AEV,
right? But maybe because he had a dual rate spring.
Well, in the case, it would triple the cost of the.
Probably.
The Mopar is already expensive enough.
Right.
But it's awesome. So Shannon, thanks for sharing that.
Absolutely.
And if you want your rig to be the Jeep of the Week, send us a message. We'd love to help you out with that. We'd love to focus on your Jeep. We've had some really fantastic Jeeps. Now, earlier, Don, you talked about stickers.
Yeah.
And you spilled the bacon on it.
Sorry about that.
No, that's all right. But we've got in our stickers. And they are awesome.
They stick really well. Look.
Yeah.
Well, wait. There we go.
Right there. Look at that.
Huh?
You already have it on.
I do.
I already have it on mine too, but we're using mine to do the video.
I sent Chris a text. I said, "Dude, here's your sticker. Now you gotta
his
find
isn't free anymore.
No, I said, now you gotta pay Chris. Plus you gotta find it.
That's right. I love it. Hiding it from him. Now your sticker, if you would like a sticker, isn't free either. It's going to cost you
$24.95 plus shipping.
No, it won't cost you dollars, but it's going to cost you some time on Instagram. And we'd like to have you tag us in your post about where you would like to put your sticker. And if we like it, I'm going to put it in the mail and send it to you. So you can now, if it's an awful place, I'm not going to send it to you.
No, can't be like on the lower frame rail.
Yeah, it has to be visible. And if you're doing like me and throwing it,
Mike just said, so he just answered our question. He said he thinks it's a security locker for the back, the slipstream.
Oh,
I was just looking at that.
Oh yeah, it is. You're right.
Is?
Yeah. Which I built my own security locker in the back.
Right.
Yeah. So cool. Thanks, Mike. Thanks for filling that in. I know Sammy and Rob, or Bob, picked up their stickers.
Hey, there's my boss. Look at that. She joined us.
Hey, boss. He's doing good. He's doing
Behaving.
good. Yeah. And good to see you yesterday, boss. But yeah, if you want it, tag us with a picture of where you would like for that sticker to go. And if we like it, we'll send it out to you. I'll contact you and get your address and send it out to you. I'll even eat the postage. Ooh, what am I saying to myself? We do have a limited run this time, so if we don't get one to you, then we'll do another run at another point. And then I think we would love to have this as like some swag that people can buy.
Yeah, at some point we're gonna start building our swag department. So we were talking yesterday. We're gonna, I'm actually gonna look into some T-shirts for us.
Nice.
And maybe some hoodies to the guy that does the stuff at the school. In fact, I'll probably make that call this week, and we'll get some stuff up on social media and our website.
Yeah, as I know that there are some people that have been asking us, we'd like some swag.
Yes.
And I'd like to have you some swag.
Yes.
Anybody can get our name out there, we'd love that.
Yep.
And speaking of getting our name out there, how can people find us? Now, do you have the list in front of you?
I don't.
Well, then I guess I have to.
You're going to have to do it.
I have to do it.
Yeah.
So the easiest way to find us is through wherever you get your podcasts, whether it be Spotify, Google Play, or Apple. That's the easiest, because if you subscribe, then it automatically throws right into your feed when a new one comes out, so you don't even have to do anything. That's the lazy man, me. That's how I get my podcast. So I think that's the easiest way. The other is you can go to Instagram and follow us on @JeepLifePod. Anytime we do cool new things, that's where we throw it up. We throw a picture of it up there and everything. Facebook, if you're watching us on Facebook Live right now, which I think Clark was, so many people are watching, and I appreciate that. You follow us on Facebook at /Jeep Life Podcast. It's pretty easy, and anytime we go live or do anything new, you'll get all the latest updates. We're on YouTube too, so you can see this after today. I always put it up there on YouTube, and any new videos. I know that you're planning some videos coming up.
So I got some stuff we're going to upload, some how-to garage, driveway stuff.
Yeah, and I know Frank has already put stuff up there.
Has
Frank's
a headlight.
doing awesome work for us in that realm. Did the oil change. He and I did headlights together.
Yes.
So Frank's doing an awesome work as our driveway mechanic. I can't wait to have him in the studio when our schedules line up.
Right.
He does awesome work, and I'm right now in contract negotiations with a friend of mine, one of the co-founders of our group, up in Jim Thorpe.
We did.
If I can sneak in Billy every once in a while, that would be.
That's right.
Man, that guy knows so much stuff.
Yeah.
And his hands are always on his Jeep.
Yeah.
His Jeeps.
Well, he's an engineer by trade.
So if I can get him
Sharp guy.
involved, I know his knowledge. So,
I agree. It's just we're going gangbusters.
Gangbusters. So we're throwing it out there. We're trying to make our content better for you.
Yep.
And you know what? Every time I do this, we learn something too. So
absolutely.
Even having Scott he's my new phone a friend. So if I need something, we're gonna phone in Scott and
he's an incredible knowledge bank, and it's just you can't get a better person than Scott, I feel
like I've known him for years.
Yeah, he's one of those guys. So, I'm at home day 3 and I get this, hey, how you hanging in there with all this craziness? And I'm like, well, Dad didn't check on me yet.
Yeah,
so he's a good guy.
He is. He's amazing. So we're very fortunate to have those people in our lives. And we're also available on jeeppodcast.com. And, we're just doing great things.
We are.
And I'm excited.
We're continue to grow. So that was, like I said, we're going to the swag thing, and, we'll put get some more people in, and that way you don't have to listen to the two of us constantly.
Yeah. That's got to be painful for the ears. Just listening to us, right?
Yeah.
You got anything else?
I don't. I'm out of material for tonight. I'm not used to talking to people. I'm not used to talking this much.
I was saying the same thing. I maybe said 12 words all day today.
It's like, short phrases in my house. Like, go to your room, pick up that cup,
Yeah, four words at max at a time.
Yep, absolutely.
I love it. Well, Don, thanks for taking the time to come
Thank
over.
You. Yeah.
And we'll see you soon.
Sounds good, Terry. Thanks.
All right, let's play us out.